taking it like it's light. Like it's lightweight.
Are we taking it light?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, but it's an emphasis on the name.
Okay, come. Well, I appreciate you
not
trying
on
to
the
put
fringes.
emphasis on the name.
It's an emphasis
It's
on the
an
name, not no
emphasis
fringes,
everything,
bro.
though. It's everything.
Yeah, exactly.
From the beginning to the end.
Prayed, when he told his disciples to pray, the disciples' prayer, he said, Our Father which art in heaven. What's the first thing? Hallowed be thy name.
I really understand that.
Right, so it's priority.
Hollow is his name. His name is Hollow.
It's not priority.
But it's not saying that's his name.
So are you saying the law is not priority now?
The time we are the people.
Yeah.
And this is the place.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom. Look at my boy with the fringes now.
Hey,
Yeah.
They lace me up.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the bros. Hey,
Yeah.
real Hebrews lace me up. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah,
Check
that
out
part.
The fringes, man.
Yeah.
They got me laced in
I
jail.
appreciate you, big
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? Hey, there's one thing that had the fringes, another thing that had the script.
Yeah.
Y'all it gotta go together.
Yeah.
There my boy go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What's up, King? What's up, bro? I thought you was going to flex on us, man. Hey, I'm glad to see you out, man.
I'm my best to keep my word.
Yeah, all praise the Most High. Read that. The book of Proverbs. Live, man. Hey, I just want to ask you one question, man. Did you grow up in a single parent household? A little bit. You don't want me asking what happened with your parents? Did they divorce? What happened? You don't mind me asking. Oh, he sold drugs? He had to sit it down, so he had to go to jail? Okay. Now look, when you look, so do you consider yourself so far African American? Okay, African American. All right, now look, when you just look in the inner city, just from observation, right? Is it very normal for so-called African Americans to be in single parent households? Very, very, very normal, right? What about Asians? No, never. You don't see that, right? It's very rare, right? Asians grew up with their parents. With us, not so much. Why? Let me show you why before you go. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna give you a reason why. See, a lot of our people know what, but they never ask why these things are happening. I'm gonna show you why. Read that. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. God said to the Israelites, right? I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Bible. You ever heard the story of Moses? Okay, remember he was like, let my people go? Now when we exited out of Egypt, Moses gave the commandments to the Israelites. And he said, look, if you break the commandments, this is going to be your judgment. Read that again. He said, it's good parts if you follow them, and here's the bad part if you don't follow them. We had a contract with God. If we broke the contract, here's one of the stipulations in the contract. Read that. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Which he shall what? Which he shall lead. God said, if you break my laws, your children are going to be raised in single parent households. So look, my question would be, if breaking God's laws got us in single parent households at an alarming rate, when it's down there like 75% of black families in single parent households at some point in time, right? At some point in time, from your youth all the way up, at some point in time, there was only one parent there. That's a problem. God said this is going to happen because you broke God's laws. So if breaking God's laws got us in this condition, how do we get out? Got to follow him, right? How well you think we're doing with the Ten Commandments? Terrible, huh? We're not perfect, right? But you know Christ tells us to be perfect, right? Did you know that? Christ tells us to be perfect. Perfect don't mean you haven't made a mistake. Perfect means repent. When you find out you made a mistake, you correct yourself. That's perfect. That's perfection in the eyes of God. Give me Psalm 19, verse 7. Watch this. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, I made a mistake, so I might as well just, no, that's not how it works. You made a mistake, you know, righteous man falls 7 times, then he get up. God wants you, if you make mistakes, you make the corrections. Read. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect. What makes you perfect? The law of the Lord is perfect. What's that? You know them? Read. Read. The law of the Lord is perfect. The law what?
The law of the Lord is perfect.
The laws of God make you perfect. It's contrary to popular belief. It don't mean you not made no mistakes. Right? When you learn, right, that you made a mistake, you correct it. Now, what's big in our community? What's big in our community? Like, what do we do big in our community that's wrong? Drugs, right? A lot of our people on pills, Xannies, popping pills, Xannies, smoking weed, drunk out their damn mind, right? Now look, the Most High God said this is a temple. We're supposed to observe and treat our body as a holy temple, but nevertheless, look at our people. Every one of them high, the youngsters, they probably high as hell in there. You know what I'm saying? On off a pill, driving crazy. That's madness, man. We wander so far away from understanding to the point that we not even looked upon as God's chosen people no more. I don't know if you know this, right? I know a lot of times you go into the Christian church, you see white Jesus, you see all the images of the disciples being white, but nevertheless, ain't no white man in this book. All the men in this book are brown. Look like me and you. How you feel about that? You familiar with that knowledge? Are you familiar with that knowledge? Okay, at least you was taught that. So what do you mean? He look like us, right? So what's that mean? Is it black? I mean, Hebrews are black. But what's required for Hebrews to heaven, though? I know Jesus. Okay, that's one of them. But how do you know Jesus, though? Word. All right, let me show you. Let's get to it. First John 2 and 3. You're right, because Jesus is the Word. He said, I come in the volume of the book, it's written of me. But watch this. Give me 1 John 2 and 3. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we know that we know him. We know that we know Christ. Read. If we keep his commandments. What? If we keep his commandments. Watch this. He that say I know him, he that say he know Christ, and keepeth not his commandments, don't do his commandments, is a liar. So it's safe to say a lot of our people are liars. How many of our people, so-called Christians, keep the commandments? I would argue none. Right? I would argue none. I mean, Christianity is probably the worst religion ever. It has the most murders. It has the most lies. It has the most deception. I mean, just the whitewashing of white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That's Christianity. They don't serve the real Christ. The real Christ is in the Bible, like you said. Our people don't want to deal with it, okay? Are you familiar with today is? The day of the week? The Sabbath, right? Now, how do we honor God's Sabbath? Yeah, we gotta honor it. How do we honor God's Sabbath? All right, well, let me ask a different question. I'm gonna answer that question. But what day do Christians go to church? So we already see a red flag right there, right? They'll tell you that's the Lord's Day. No, today is the Lord's Day. The 7th day of the week, not the first day of the week. Sunday is the first day of the week. So let's get it. Not saying you can't go to church that day. You can go to church every day if you like. But nevertheless, not the Lord's Day. They're trying to tell our people, no, this is the Lord's Day. You're a liar. Stop lying. It's very simple things, and our people just continue to perpetuate lies. That's the first day of the week. Stop lying. Right? Read that. Watch this. What you was going to bring up? The Sabbath day. Okay, the Sabbath.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Remember the what?
The Sabbath day to keep it holy.
How do you keep the Sabbath day holy? Give me Exodus 35 and 3, and I'm going to let you go. Exodus 35 and 3. Read.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So we got 6 days to get our hustle on. Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
No work. These businesses should be closed right now. McDonald's, Del Taco, the U.S. Bank. You notice how the bank is closed on Sunday. No, it's supposed to be closed today. Our people are just stuck in madness, man. And they following the lies. Christ gave a commission to his disciples. He said, look, many are going to come in my name and say they are the Christ. Follow me, come this way. He's talking about the Christian church, man. Christian church represent themselves as Christ, but they don't do nothing that he tells us. We can just see that simply in the day that they so-called say is the Lord's day. So my question to you is, if Christianity is a lie, and most of our people are Christians, then what the hell is going on? How do we fix this? we got to get back to the book, man. First and foremost, the book is for us and only us. All right? You're only dealing with the 12 tribes of Israel. From Genesis to Revelation, you're not dealing with no other nation. You don't believe me? I'm gonna show you this, and I'm gonna let you go. Give me Amos 3 and 3. Amos 3 and 2. Watch this.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
No. Therefore, I'm gonna hold y'all accountable because I dealt with y'all. Y'all was the only one in the wilderness with Moses. We weren't dealing with other nations. And we did have other nations, but they was not allowed in the camp. You see what I'm saying? When we left Egypt, remember Moses let my people go? It was our people. They looked like you, me, and you, brown people. Coming out of Egypt. Remember they mistaken Moses as an Egyptian? I mean, he looked like us, right? The ancient Egyptians are black. All you gotta do is look at the walls of Kidder. Simple. So look, man, I wanted to tell you, you're an Israelite according to the Bible, man. I know you probably got things to do. Don't let nobody lie to you, man. You're a Hebrew Israelite according to the Bible, right? It's 12 tribes of Israel that God is dealing with. You come from one of those tribes, man, depending on your lineage of your father. And we gotta wake up out of sleep and come back to the laws of God. Notice how I just talked to you for a little bit, and I broke down Christianity and how wicked it is. Just find the deception. The day that they say that it's the Lord's day, it's not. The white Jesus that they serve. The same thing you can do as thy will, pretty much. You can't judge me. Christians don't use that. You gotta get judged. That's your spirit. If you want God to judge you, when God judge you, people die. People lose limbs, children die. You know what I'm saying? People lose houses. People get sickness. People coronavirus. When God judges you. So it would be better if you let your brothers judge you. Because all we telling our people is to do is repent. Repent, brother, man. So look, man, learn them laws, man. Have a good one, all right? Good one. I'll praise one more time. What's that? Oh, we got the forest. What up, bro?
Peace and love, King. How y'all doing, brother?
Good?